In 1942, the Philippines fell, the Allies were overrun, and one American general was left behind. He didn't escape. He didn't retreat. He stayed and paid the price. This is the story of the highest-ranking U.S. officer captured during World War II. General Jonathan Wainwright endured starvation, isolation, and humiliation, but never gave up his country. Today, we uncover the forgotten courage of a man America nearly forgot, but history never should. Welcome to the World War History Bar. Let's begin. Jonathan Mayhew Wainwright IV was born into military tradition. His father was a lieutenant during the Spanish-American War, and his grandfather an officer during the Civil War. A West Point graduate, a World War I veteran, and a career officer, he was respected for his humility and his resolve. When war broke out in the Pacific, he served under General MacArthur in the Philippines. But as the Japanese closed in, MacArthur was ordered to leave, and Wainwright was left to lead a hopeless defense with no reinforcements and no way out. Corregidor, a rocky island fortress at the mouth of Manila Bay, the final American stronghold in the Philippines, surrounded, battered, and starving. By May 1942, the once mighty American and Filipino defense of the islands had collapsed, Bataan had fallen, and now Corregidor stood alone, under constant bombardment, its tunnels turned into tombs. Deep in the Malinta Tunnel, General Jonathan Wainwright held his final command post. He had taken over after General MacArthur had evacuated in Australia, left behind with an impossible task of defending a dying front. Supplies were gone, ammunition nearly depleted, thousands of wounded lined the dark corridors, some whispering prayers, others too far gone to speak. On May 6, 1942, after weeks of relentless Japanese assault, Wainwright made a decision no commander ever wants to face. He surrendered. Not out of fear, not for himself, but to save what remained of his men. Over 11,000 troops still clinging to life on Corregidor and across the archipelago. The surrender stunned the world, and it made history. Wainwright became the highest-ranking American officer ever captured by the enemy. The Japanese exploited the moment, parading him for cameras, labeling him a defeated general. But they misunderstood the man. Because while Corregidor had fallen, Wainwright's resolve had not. After the surrender at Corregidor, General Wainwright was no longer a commander. He was a prisoner. The Japanese knew exactly who they had. A four-star general, the face of American defeat in the Pacific. They paraded him through Manila, cameras flashing, headlights mocking. To them, he was a trophy. But to his men, he was a symbol of sacrifice. Wainwright was separated from the soldiers he tried to save. He was shipped across Asia, from the Philippines to Formosa, then to a prison camp in Manchuria. There, for over 3 years, he endured starvation, disease, and humiliation. He was denied medicine, forced to bow to captors, treated not as an officer, but as a tool to break American morale. They tried to use him. They tried to force him to sign false statements, denounce his country, to serve as a puppet for the Japanese propaganda, but he refused every time. Despite physical collapse, he never gave in, even when he had every reason to, even when he believed America had forgotten him. Then, in August 1945, the war ended. Soviet forces liberated the camp. Jonathan Wainwright emerged emaciated, frail, and 100 pounds lighter, but still standing. August 1945. The bombs had fallen. The war was over. Japan had surrendered. But in the distant corner of Manchuria, General Jonathan Wainwright still didn't know. Then came freedom. Liberated by Soviet troops, Wainwright and his fellow POWs emerged into daylight, barely recognizable as soldiers, but unmistakably American. Wainwright had survived over 3 years in captivity. His weight had dropped below 100 pounds. His uniform hung from his frame like a flag draped over a broken pole, but he had never surrendered. Shortly after his rescue, he was flown to meet the man he had once served under, General Douglas MacArthur. The moment was powerful. Two generals, one who left and one who stayed. And now, both were home. After 3 years of imprisonment, Wainwright was hesitant to return home due to concerns that he would be perceived as a failure for surrendering. But much to his surprise, he was given a hero's welcome and a parade. Americans celebrated his courage and resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. In September 1945, President Truman presented Wainwright with a Medal of Honor. He was also promoted to full general, the highest possible rank. But Wainwright accepted it all with humility. He still believed he had failed at Corregidor. He still mourned the men he couldn't save. To the world, he was a hero. To himself, he was simply a soldier who did what duty required. After the war, Wainwright commanded the 4th Army at Fort Sam Houston, Texas. He would retire in 1947 after 41 years of service, settling in San Antonio, Texas, with his wife Adele Kitty Hawley. He never chased the spotlight, never wrote a memoir. In his final years, he became a quiet advocate for POWs and veterans, always lifting up the voices of others, never his own. He passed away on September 2nd, 1953, the 8th anniversary of Japan's official surrender, buried with full honors at Arlington National Cemetery, surrounded by the very men he once led. Jonathan Wainwright didn't return home with parades or speeches. He returned with scars, a quiet kind of courage that history almost forgot. But his story isn't about surrender. It's about endurance, and the strength to carry the burden of defeat so that others would survive. If you found this story powerful, take a moment to honor the memory of a man who stood tall when all was lost. Like this video to support the channel, comment below your thoughts of stories of unsung heroes. We might use those in the future. And subscribe for more forgotten stories of resilience, sacrifice, and history worth remembering. And I'm Zach here at the World War II History Bar, saying so long.